listening to the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan.
Good afternoon. It's your host, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan, and you're tuned into the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast. We are back for season 3. Yeah.
Beautiful. What is going on, my friend? Look at this. We got a whole new setup. We're not in the same room anymore. It's a little different.
I know, this is so strange, eh? And then now we're being told we're going to be in lockdown again. Things are certainly different. However, that will not stop us because we have a lot of fun to have. There's a lot of great information that we intend to bring this season. There's a lot of great guests lined up. So I'm excited for season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a lot of great guests lined up over the next couple of months. It's pretty incredible. It is funny because when we were sending out the invites to our guests, we got to write down all of our previous guests that we've had. I want to go back and listen to all those podcasts. I'm like, oh my gosh, we had Diana Kokoska with like the number 1 agent from Philadelphia, the number 1 agent KW worldwide, number 1 agent in Canada, number 1 team agent in Canada.
We've had some great coaches on, so great investors. The goal of our podcast always is to bring people to you who are doing big and great things, and people that we can learn from, that you can learn from as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a while since we've been online. In the fall, we did some really cool things with business reviews for some of the agents that were local. And, since then we've been doing lots of stuff. What's going on in your world, man? Let's get everybody up to date and caught up.
What's going on in my world? For me, it's just building, staying in conversation with talent. How do I get in conversation with talent? I'm looking to just get into new conversations right now. People that I can build great relationships with, people that, who are doing big and great things that we can certainly learn from.
Yeah, I like it.
What about yourself?
Last number of months have been really focused on our brokers, Keller Williams Realty Centers, and leading that, and like similar to what you're doing, getting in conversations with people that are talented and doing bigger and better things than we're doing, and it's fun to attract talent, right? That means you're
Absolutely.
having like you kind of find yourself in these really awesome conversations all the time.
It's funny because on the weekend, I don't know if it was last weekend or the weekend before, just completed a Tony Robbins session, Business Mastery. And a part of that session, it talks about getting into having new voice within your circle. So new voices, new opinions, because after a while, we certainly get comfortable where we are and we stop going out there and meeting new people. And one of my biggest takeaway from that session, 5-day training session, proximity is power. Let's get in conversation with people who are doing things at a big and great level and learn from them, right? Because ultimately that makes us better. There's a famous saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? So how do you keep raising that bar and going to the next level? And it's getting into conversation, hearing, new voices, new opinions.
I like it. Let's talk about Tony Robbins, because you were doing it with, I believe, your brother, right?
Yes.
And 20,000 other people.
Yeah.
and you would send me screenshots or, different videos throughout it was a 3-day event, 4-day event.
5-day event.
That's what I meant. 5-day event. Yeah. Okay. Like, what was that all about? Like, it was impactful and high intense, as Tony Robbins always is, but like, what'd you walk away with?
It was very powerful. Because we had 5 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Pretty much it starts at 9:30, and on average you're going until 10:30 every night. So they're very long days, but high energy. Like, and for any of you who've done Tony Robbins, You're always up, you're dancing, you're moving, and state is everything. And the way for you to learn, and something he said, where you can't solve a problem in the same state it was received. So if you're down and you're down on yourself, or you're just feeling tired or drained, it's going to be hard for you to solve any problem in that state. So it's being in a different state where your energy is much at a higher level, which will allow you to solve bigger and better problems. But the people that I've done it with, there are a lot of agents in our brokerage that did it as well, in and outside of Keller Williams that have done it. It's more, taking your business to the next level. What does that look like? Who are the people you need to get in conversation with? So it was extremely powerful. It's funny because my guys are my team. They're still waiting to hear what my takeaway was, because I'm sure, Gary, for you it was the same. When we go to, family reunion or stuff like that, and you come back from any major training, we start throwing up on our team members, right? And we're just like, I learned all of this, so right? Now it was deliberate, like, okay, we're gonna just do this, and we're gonna do this week, and next week we're gonna do this. And so it's already planned for the next 7 weeks, and then we just rotate those weeks. So every week is just one strategy we're gonna pick and we're gonna go with.
I like it. Yeah, you often come back and you just spew all over everything.
Yeah.
And but sometimes though, like, don't you think, like, you come back from these events or these weekends or what have you, these programs, and you almost need like a few days or more just to digest it and to prioritize it, right?
Absolutely. I had all intentions of being at work on Thursday, and then I call our director of ops, Christina, and she's like, I've never heard you sound tired. She's like, you sound tired. I was like, yeah, I'm drained. She's like, tell me you're taking today off. I was like, yeah, I am. So I needed that day. And even the Friday, I did come to work. I came to work on the Friday, but still, your energy is not what it's used to, because it was intense. It was intense learning and training for 5 days. So this weekend, I'm still putting part of that plan into play. Tomorrow, I'm going to take 2-3 hours to just, fine tune my plan to get it into action.
I like it. So you've been selling a lot of real estate, and I'm sure right across Canada and the U.S. We have friends in many, many different parts of North America, and the common thread for the last number of months has been lack of inventory. I need listings. I need this. I need that. And how are you overcoming some of these obstacles? Like, what's going on? How's that? How are you protecting your team's mindset when it comes to stuff like that?
Well, absolutely. Inventory is very low right now. But it's the same thing I tell my entire team. All we need to do is just put in the work. The business will come. Put in the work. And it's almost down. It's a law. You put in the work, the business will come. Just trust the process. And let's start getting into more conversations with the people that know and like us already, and just find out what are their real estate plans. Some of our clients, they wanted to buy, they wanted to sell and buy, but then because of the way the market is, they decided they're going to just stay where they are, because it's such a competitive market right now with little or no inventory. So every home that they like and they want to put in an offer on, they're competing with 5-10 other potential buyers, and they're missing out big, right? So, but it's you stay the course to be successful right now. And we know as well, you want more listings during this time. So it's reaching out to people who had their home on the market and changed their mind a year ago. Okay, let's go through our database and see who were thinking of selling, and they missed out. A lot of the people who missed out on the 2016, 2017 high, let's get back in conversation with those same people to say, hey, you missed out. Here's your second opportunity, to ride that wave.
Yeah,
But it's following the process.
Following the process. I wrote a note down because I want to circle back to it in a moment. I don't want to forget it. So remind me. It's interesting. As a brokerage wide, I don't have the specific numbers. Pacific numbers is something entirely different. So from the month of February versus March, we literally just finished March, so we don't have all the numbers in. However, as a few days ago, our brokerage had doubled the amount of listings, had loaded the double amount of listings than we did the previous month.
Of course.
Right? So the inventory is coming back as you were just suggesting there. And the other interesting thing is in the month of February, we averaged, it's about 16 and a half showings per listing. Mm-hmm. And here's the interesting thing. In the month of March, so we doubled the amount of listings that our brokerage had, which could mean we would get half the amount of showings. Mm-hmm. We actually didn't. We went from 16 and a half to 12 and a half.
Wow, interesting.
So a lot more buyers came to market as well, right?
Well, yeah, because now you're seeing more inventory come to the market. People are like, okay, it's not just 5 homes for sale in new market. There's 15. I might have a chance now, right? We know inventory is still historically low. And, I'm talking to a lot of agents. Some of them can't wait for us to get back to a more balanced market because the way we're seeing things right now, it's insane. That's the reality. It's great for our sellers, and it's great for any seller who doesn't have to buy, who's just selling and cashing out. It's great. If you're selling and then you still have to buy, you're in the same market. You're buying and selling in the same market, so it becomes a wash.
Yeah. That comment often comes up, right? If you're doing some lead gen, well, if I sell, I got to buy in the same market.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even if we didn't have the price increases, you would still sell and buy in the same market, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same. So from that perspective, it's a little bit different. So here's the note. I wanted to write down because this question came up with somebody I was speaking to with earlier, and that's around lead gen. And
is it multiple choice?
It's multiple choice, yes, but there's only one answer. There's only one answer, and that's for those agents that do a lot of lead gen on the phones and doing cold calling. And I know over the last number of years, like we all know that was your bread and butter. However, you've kind of, not to say you shifted away from it, but you've taken, you're doing other sources now.
Of course.
What lead gen over the phone or cold calling has become more and more, I'm looking for another word. You can tell I'm searching for something other than the word difficult because that's not the word I want to use. Challenging. That's it. That's why we say words out loud.
Yes.
Challenging because, the phone list that we got, people are using these more often and canceling their home phones and so forth. So what are you adding to your arsenal from a lead gen perspective?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because one of our major strategies this year, it's focusing on the people that already know and like us. People that we've done business with. How do we create a system where they're now our cheerleaders and they want to send us business, right? So it's having a system around referrals, not just for the clients that we work with, but for also fellow agents that might be out of town, out of province, out of state, out of country, just setting up an actual system and a plan around that. You're absolutely right. Cold calling, the numbers have dropped. The efficiency is much lower now. How do we, capitalize on social media, right? Through Keller Williams, we have the command system, which allows us to market and advertise on social media very efficiently and effectively. So we're using that as well. Those are just two added ones that you think we should have been doing it a long time ago, but maybe call me a slow learner. I'm now catching up.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like this saying. It's not, I did not create it, but I love this saying. You know, we often spend money on people that don't know us.
Absolutely.
We're spending so much money to go meet people that we've never met before. Yet we have all these amazing clients that we've done business with, and we're too afraid to go invest time and money into them. Yeah.
Could
Cool.
you imagine what it would look like if, all the monies we spent advertising to gain new clients, what if we pour that back into the clients we already have?
Oh,
What
home
would our
runs.
business look like?
Yeah.
What would our business look like? So that's where we're focusing right now. And we've created a system around that and being very purposeful around it.
Yeah, it's smart. So where do you want to go? I showed you this graph earlier, and
Let's go straight to that graph.
Dude,
I
wish I hadn't shown it to you, and the audience got to see your raw reaction from it, because it was pretty amazing. Yeah. So I shared this last night. My brother sent it to me, Kev. So shout out to Kev. He sent it to me. So these are where home prices have risen the most since the year 2000 up to Q4 in 2020, and this is impressive. We'll just
So for the people that can't see, just explain what is it we're looking at.
Yeah, we're looking at a graph of Spain, the UK, France, Canada, Italy, US, and Germany, and we're seeing the prices rise over that last 20 years in one of those classic bar graphs on a time lapse. And I should be a play-by-play announcer. And then
it sounds like a horses.
Horses.
A horse race. Yeah. A horse race. So
and into the backstretch.
Yeah.
Going down the backstretch, and they're on the third corner. Germany fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what the Canadian real estate market has done within a 20-year period.
I got to pause it there, because otherwise it keeps looping. And here, Mike Russo, incredible. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. This stat is bonkers. I mean, I think in our mind or in our hearts, we knew we had some amazing appreciation over the years.
Yeah.
But to see it line up against the other countries truly is remarkable. So where this ended up, if you're listening to it on the podcast, over the last 20 years, the U.S. has increased, we'll call it 55% in value. France, that's in fifth place. France at fourth place at 96%, we'll call it. The UK at 96.3%. And Canada, big drum roll. Wait, hang on. I got a drum roll here. Hang on, here we go. Drum roll. There we go.
No way. Awesome.
Of course, for the people that are watching, they're like, yeah, get it. There we go. 168% over the last 20 years. So let's think about that for a moment and put that in perspective.
That is some crazy numbers. There's no doubt about that. For our Canadian real estate market to increase in 20 years, 168%. They always say the best time to buy real estate is 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
So that's a good point. I mean, in 20 years, do you want to have this same success story? Right?
Of course.
You and I were chatting on the pre-show, and all the economists that you and I would follow within regards to real estate and so forth over the last number of years, they would often stand on stage and give us fundamental reasons on why appreciation at 5% every year is fantastic for the healthy local for the local economy, the national economy, the international economy, the GDP, everything. And in this case, it is incredible. It's surpassed it. I think what did we figure it out to be? 8.5
8.5, almost 8.5.
8.5% per year. Yeah.
That's incredible. For you to, let's say, park your money in real estate, and year over year you're getting an 8%, and that will be compounded.
In a sense,
So,
yeah. We just did it simple math here, right? Simple equation.
Yeah.
So here's the other interesting thing. Yeah, that's a good point. Here's the other interesting thing. You're not going to get 5% a year from this scale. It's going to compound and accelerate over the last number of years. I know there's that whole adage out there. I can't invest in real estate, or I can't buy a property because I can't afford it. Doesn't matter. Right. And I know you and I have talked about this many times in the past. Live where you want to live and buy where you can afford.
Yes. I had that conversation with a client recently. They're saying, well, Colin, all I can afford right now is 400,000. What can I find for 400,000? All right, Midland. Midland, you can still pick up something out there for 350. You can pick it up at around 3. So yes, you want to live in Aurora, continue to rent in Aurora, but own a place in Midland for 400,000, and within 20 years it's paid off, and then you see 168% increase on that. That in itself is your retirement plan right there, and you haven't picked up and moved, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some would say, what's the sustainability of this? Well, even if it gets back to, say, where the UK and France are, now hovering at 96% more or less, that's still at 5%, slightly under, a year over 20 years. And that's still a fantastic return. Now, put yourself in these shoes too. We often, it's often said, your own personal residence is a liability and not an asset. Well, over the last 20 years, I'm going to stand here and tell you my personal residence has been 100% asset, because in no other shape or form have I been able to create 168% return tax-free.
Of course. And it's good that you say tax-free, because they just announced that, they're not even looking at that anymore as an option in terms of capital gains and personal residence. Yeah. So it's tax-free money, and it's your money.
Yeah, it's your money. Isn't there
I just love this graph. It would be great if we can, drop a link on Facebook so we can share it with some people.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let it run one more time to just see the changes over here. It's pretty wild if you're watching online. But
look at where Germany started. Germany was Negatives. In the hole.
Yeah.
Negative 2%, and then it went as high as -7 or 8%, 9, 10%, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Germany had a negative growth for a very long time. Oh, negative 13%.
Mark Loffler's disagreeing with me at 100% liability.
What does he say?
That's why we have vanilla and chocolate ice cream, my friend. But I like, and that's how most people would look at it too. I mean, there's other ways to look at this in a sense of, get into the market, do everything you possibly can to get into the market, and allow time to create wealth for you from this perspective, right?
Absolutely. Because, like you said, that's why there's vanilla and chocolate ice cream. And looking at it from just a layman person, where else can I, spend 400,000 on, invest 400,000 and in 20 years over $1 million? Where else? Without requiring, work on it. Obviously, there's maintenance on your home, but whether it's the stock market, not everyone understands the stock market. Not everyone, because the stock market in itself can be very intimidating, right? Yeah. So something like this, you were to buy a home, you just maintain the home, have your tenants help maintain it, and in 20 years it's paid off, and now you're sitting on cash.
Yeah. I see Loffler's now coming around and seeing where I was standing from. Yes. Okay. It is Canada's best tax loophole for sure. While in the States, you can
Absolutely.
write off your interest. Well, here, the capital gains or the increase with the spread that we earn in our personal residence is 100% tax free. But yeah, he's actually brought up a couple of good points. Where else can you buy, or what can you do? And we talked about this quickly as an investor. If I can't afford to live in Aurora, where else can I buy? Well, you can also look at things differently. Buy a home with 2 units and live in the smaller unit, and allow that other unit to cover your cost. Right? That's, to me, if you're doesn't matter what age you are, if you're looking to get into the market and that is something that could be a great option for you, I think that's brilliant.
But it's not even looking at getting into the market. If your goal is to create wealth, if you're looking at a wealth strategy, yes, like Mark is saying, live in the basement for free, and you rent your upper unit. You live in your 1 bedroom in the basement, and you rent the upper 3 bedrooms now, and every month somebody's paying your mortgage, and you have that money to travel, you have that money to do whatever you want, but it's to invest in stocks, options, or some side hustle, right? It creates options. And the goal for everyone out there listening is for you to take care of yourself and family, right? The more money we have, it allows you more options. It allows you freedom.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, I thought that was incredibly, so here's the thing. My brother Kev sent this to me and I posted it last night, and it's been shared now, at least on my feed. I don't know how many times. There's well over 30 times now. And I'm sure it's just continuing to grow. Again, this is something that we always knew as Canadians. I've not seen it visually portrayed like this. And I thought it was kind of creative the way that was put together.
I like it. I want to share it on my social media platform.
Good. Done. Make it happen.
Okay, it's happening.
All right. So we got a couple of minutes here before we sign off. What's next? Should we talk about who's coming on? We will talk about who's coming on next week, which I'm really, really excited about. And we got a couple of great guests lined up thereafter. But what else is happening in the real estate world?
What else is happening in the real estate world? We're starting to see a shift in the market. That's what we're starting to see. You're not seeing as many multiple offers. You're not seeing, it's changing. And for those who are not, engaged in selling a lot of homes, they might still be caught up as it's a hot market, and I'm going to list and hold offers. Sometimes you list and hold offers, you get nothing, right? So it's understanding the market, understanding the trend and where it's trending, so you can be ahead of the curve, and not be chasing the market as trying to play catch up, I should say.
Yeah, I might regret posting this, but there it is.
I knew it was coming.
Right?
I knew it was coming. Don't worry, we got a special segment for you, Mark. We got you.
Yeah, we should put him on the rapid fire right away.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, if he's in front of a computer, bring him on.
There's
your opportunity, Mark. Make it happen.
Loffler, if you're out there, text me.
We'll get you in front of the computer now.
He's laughing now. Yeah. If you're ready to rock and roll, we can bring you on for a couple of minutes to goof around. But I mean, you're right. That market, that market is pretty hot. Even though a month ago it was hotter. I mean, I'm trying to say it and put allow that perspective to kind of land, right? And
absolutely.
We often talk about that balanced market, as you said earlier. Okay, he's texting me now. We often talk about that, having that balanced market. You talk about the balanced market. I can't do 2 things at once. I can't do 5 things at once here. Okay, balanced market. What's a balanced market, my friend? I'm texting Mark.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people look at the market and say, okay, where is it? How fast are things going? Is this sustainable? Because we all know this market isn't sustainable. If it were to continue the way things are going, our kids will never own homes, right? So, and the market, it ebbs and flows, and it does that many times. It's a cycle it goes through. So it's understanding where, there's enough inventory to last 3, 4, 5 months, right? That's what we've seen as a balanced market versus there's only, so many homes and it's lasting 3 weeks. So that simply means we're in a seller's market at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, we're still texting back and forth. This is the beauty of doing live shows and just rolling with it.
Is he coming on or not? That's what
we're just trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, that balanced market, right? Is that 3 months of inventory and everything like that, right? And I remind me, like, I can't remember. So Colin and I both work in the Greater Toronto area. And the center of the universe. No, I didn't say that.
Center of the universe.
Yeah, if you're in Canada. Sorry, West Coasters. or Ottawa, our friends from Ottawa. It's I lost my thought.
It'll come.
It'll come because I typed the wrong website in for Mark. That's why.
Okay. But
pick me up on my thought there.
Okay. No, but just serving in the Greater Toronto area.
Yeah, sorry, that's exactly it. And remind me, when was the last time we actually saw 3 months worth of inventory?
Oh my gosh. I would say pre-COVID.
So over a year.
Over a year now.
And even at 3, that might have been the very, very limit of some of those listings that would just kind of stay on the market. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Like we're talking residential, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-COVID is what we saw.
Yeah.
But since then, you're looking at, if nothing else comes to the market in most of the cities and towns in York Region, Simcoe, it's less than a month of inventory. Month and a half of inventory.
Yeah.
I'm on air now.
Well, look at this. That worked like a gem after I typed the right address.
We need to add his name.
We
need to add his name.
First and last. No, I like that.
First and last. We can name him first and last.
Yeah. All right. Introduce. Who do we got here, Colin?
We have both. You're my mentor. This guy has been instrumental in helping us in our career, helping us look at investments, helping us look at whether it's investing in stocks and option or even in the real estate industry. He's been very pivotal in our success as agents. And so Mark Loffler, not only my friend, but my brother.
What's up, everyone?
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to stay still. Hang on. Don't move around too much.
Stop moving around.
Yeah, what's up with this?
This is a great system. What are you talking about? This is how we roll. So what's going on? Yeah. So who are you there with?
Sharon and the other people at the office. I don't know.
Yeah, good. So Mark Loffler, talk to us about your infamous YouTube channel.
Mark Loffler Experience. We do 2 to 3 shows every week. I actually just took it down from 2 to 3. Monday and Thursday, 6:15. Drops every week.
And what do people learn on that show?
I'm passionate about helping people build wealth, either through real estate or through stock market or building businesses. And that's what I'm doing.
I like
that's what you're going to learn there.
I like it.
Okay. And you you get me pontificating about random stuff too, which is nice.
That I enjoy, actually. That's the part I enjoy.
So now we were looking at those numbers there, Mark, and we saw what real estate has done in the last 20 years in Canada. And this is all of Canada, not just Ontario. We've seen an increase of 168%. People are saying the market is too hot. Should I still buy real estate now? As an investor, what are you doing?
I'm buying in Alberta.
Tell us about that multiplex you purchased up there. And why Alberta?
So you guys interrupted me. I was actually putting an offer in on a 22 unit in Calgary, and then you told me to come on here, and I'm like, oh, okay. But
I love how the
no,
wide world of the internet works. You got to engage to come on the internet, right?
that's true.
Okay. I was just curious. Maybe it was different in your world. I wasn't sure.
I don't know. I was doing two things, and then it's like, oh, jump on. I'm like, oh, crap. Okay. No, I just bought a 15 unit in Edmonton and negotiate a 22 unit. Hopefully, pick up another 20 unit in Edmonton as well.
So now, help me understand, Mark. You live in the GTA area, and
Yep.
why are you buying out in Edmonton? It's so far away. You have to jump on a plane to get there. You don't have, I would assume, you don't have, partners out there. What does this look like for you to buy out of province?
Well, I mean, it's no different than if I'm going up north or trying to find a different market. Even if I was investing in Ottawa, right? Ottawa's 5 hours away for me. So is Edmonton. So
Yeah.
I got to get on a plane. Big deal. I go to Hamilton Airport, in and out through security in 30 minutes. Get on a plane that's 98% full, still in COVID. I go to Edmonton, hang around, buy a couple properties, come back.
Yeah.
And you build a team out there like you would here, right? So.
Yeah. So of all the provinces, why Edmonton? Why
Or Alberta.
Alberta, yeah.
Alberta, yeah.
Edmonton's not a province as far as I know, but
It's coming. It's coming.
to be honest with you, I think it's been pretty depressed because of oil prices and some of the political climate out there recently, and it hasn't really had the run up in prices. So I have sold a portfolio of 7 buildings here in Hamilton, and basically I'm making a move out to Alberta. I think now is the time. I think, and to be honest with you, like with all the lockdowns here and everything, I feel like some of it, like, and I've talked to a lot of people lately that are like, screw this, I'm leaving Ontario and I'm moving to Alberta. I mean, it's like Calgary area is it's beautiful, right? You got Rocky Mountains, you got lots of forests. If you like outdoors, it's the place to be. Like, I don't know, you guys go skiing in Ontario. I don't know how you do it. So
I haven't
Details.
skied in the last year and a bit.
Yeah. I'm waiting to hit the mountains again. Okay, so talk to us quickly about the cap rate that's available out there, and what cap rate are you buying at, and then what do you intend to get that to for your investment?
yeah, so I got about around a 6.75 cap in Edmonton. Yeah, well, that's me lowering some expenses right off the beginning that I know I can do. And I'm told I can refinance from the bank and from one of my couple of realtors out there that have about 5.5 cap with all the expenses put in. So, and I'm buying it at $850 average rent, and I think I can get that average rent over $1,250.
Okay.
And
Now
then
you're talking. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was gonna lead you into, you're talking about just because the rents were low, or is it you're putting some time and effort into updating the units, or what how are you getting those rents up?
So I'm gonna do. I mean, you guys know what I do, but for the people who don't know what I do, is I basically turn these units into like new condos. I come in, I open them up, new floor, new lights, new kitchens, new appliances, new bathrooms, laundry in every suite, dishwasher in every suite. So, and you make the common areas nicer. So we'll get that lift in the properties. Yeah, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of old school thinking. It's same as when I went to Hamilton like 10, 12 years ago, where people would be, well, 1970s kitchen, okay, we'll paint it, and we'll put a coat of paint on. We got the builder's lights, perfect, and we rent it out. So I think there's a lot of the same mentality there, and I think we can change that up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So for you, Mark, someone who isn't as savvy as you are in investing, um, how does one, finance a project like that, where a multiplex, where they might have enough equity, let's say, in their home currently, they want to do it. How can someone do it?
So how can someone do it, or how did I do it?
No, how can someone who hasn't done something like this before, how can they get started?
Sure. I mean, if you're going to buy a multiplex like this, I mean, I bought or I got 75% financing from a local credit union out there. I think we're prime plus one open variable. What else? I mean, I brought in joint venture partners on this. So we raised $700,000 for the deal. So it's around 350 down, and then renovation costs and some obviously sunk costs on purchase type thing. One of the benefits is we don't have to pay land transfer tax out there, and the other different taxes. It's a lot less out there, so that's kind of nice.
Well,
I like it. And for those that, are obviously putting this together, if you've not met Mark before, this is you've had a long runway to be able to do things like this, and a lot of experience too. However, you'd probably also say though, Mark, that it's the same as buying, say, a two unit building. It's just the scalability and the numbers are that much bigger, right? And the amount of effort that it takes. It's the same mindset though, is it not?
It's the same mindset. I would tell you the only thing that's really different on it is the commercial financing, right? Residential as opposed to commercial financing. I haven't got into any residential financing out there. I'm looking at some smaller units, but as more of a package. So I'll probably do commercial financing on those too.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So if someone wants to now invest as a silent partner or a JV partner, they don't want to do the work, they want to give money to you and just invest, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, either through the YouTube channel or my Instagram page.
Which is?
Living the Dream 40.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so Colin, we'll have Mark on as a formal guest, if you will. And the cool thing is we can take this conversation in a number of different areas, right? Not only does, Mark invest in real estate, but he's seen tremendous success in the stock market and with options and other things. But even more so, and maybe perhaps more passionate, are those medals hanging behind you. And I bet you a lot of people are wondering what they are. I'd love to get into that conversation, Mark.
Sure. Anytime. You know that.
All right. Done.
Mark,
all right.
It's always a pleasure to have you, my brother. Thank you for pouring into us and just focusing on helping as many people create financial wealth and freedom. So enjoy.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to go buy a building.
Have fun.
All right, do that. I love it.
Beautiful. Never a dull moment.
This is what I love about this. This is what I love about this, because it's real conversation, real people who are actually making moves. The fear is going to be there of, should I invest in this? Should I buy this? Sometimes we have to feel the fear and do it anyway, right? I'm sure if we had, gotten deeper into it with Mark, he would have told you, the first deal, how scary it was. But Mark is how many hundreds of deals in now for him to say, okay, I'm going to look at Edmonton to start investing. I'm going to look at these areas. And I know he's also looking at Florida, right? So and like he rightfully said, it's building a team. So wherever he's looking, he's creating that team. Who are the renovators I need to know, the mortgage brokers, the inspectors? Who are the people that I need to know that can, help me build and get to that next level?
Yeah, 100%. I love it. So today's show is pretty good. I like
we
just
were only supposed to be on for 20 minutes.
I know.
We're on 45 minutes now.
Getting that rust off and the dust off and everything. And I'm excited for who we've got lined up next week. We've got the new director of Keller Williams Luxury. and that's Brady Sandall. And I'm excited to have that conversation with him. He's out of, I believe it's the Palm Springs area down in California. And, he's got a passion not only for, real estate and luxury, but, showing others the path. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with Brady next week. And in the future, we've got the likes of Chris Knighton coming on, one of Keller Williams' top, I think it actually is Keller Williams' top team agents in Canada at the moment. Russell Westcott's coming on in a few weeks. A lot of our investor friends know who Russell is. And you and I, not only have we learned from Mark, we learned a lot from Russell and joint ventures and creating them. So if you're looking to create a partnership in real estate and buy properties together in, I believe it's 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks. Anyways, you'll watch out for the date. That'll be a great one. So that's it, my friend. I think we're good. Wrap this baby up. Good.
Thank you again for spending the last 45 minutes with us. It's your host, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan from the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast, signing out.
Bye for now.